anymore.
Is there a series? Let me ask. I'll ask you a question. Maybe you can turn it into something. Is there a series of games that you want to collect all of them for, and that you're missing some, or like, what do you have out of that series that, and what do you still want?
Well, I do have. I guess Digimon games. I do have a pretty decent amount of those. Actually.
You probably actually have more Digimon games than me.
Because I have
maybe not.
Because I have I think I've got 4 games.
Okay.
I got Digimon World 1 through 4.
Wow, you have all 4 of the originals now. Holy shit.
Yeah, I do.
Wow. I'm just looking up the Digimon games that came out in America, but continue.
Another series I've always had just a big passion for that is getting more and more impossible to collect as time progresses is the Mega Man game series.
I was wondering if you were going to say that, which is what I was trying to lead you into, and then you were like, Digimon, and I was like, oh, okay.
Well, Digimon is a bit more obtainable.
Yes. Although there's a lot more Digimon games than you might realize, even in America. There's a lot of them that some people just didn't play. But continue. Do you want to? You can shift over to Mega Man if you want. I'm looking at whatever you're talking about on the internet here.
Well, okay. So let's look. Well, not look at, but think about it here. How many Digimon games are out in America?
Okay. Well, I actually do have the list. So let's take a look. I'm gonna list the ones that are in America, and you can tell me if you have them or not. Digimon World.
Yeah.
Digimon World 2.
Of course.
I'll just skip them over here. 3 and 4. These ones were not in America.
I'm missing. I saw Cyber Sleuth and the second one at our game store the other day, and I was considering.
They're not bad.
I was considering getting them, but then I was like, fuck, I just don't have any money in my account right now. Like, I would have to move it over.
So, I will continue with the list of games. Actually, I want to point one more out. Digimon World Next Order, which is the PS4 it's basically a remake of the original Digimon.
Yeah, that's the remake of the first one.
Right. Do you have it?
I don't.
Okay. I do have that one. I did not play it that much. I should try it because I say try. I have played it. I should go back and try it again because even though I don't like the first Digimon World, I can still get some nostalgia because I loved it when I was a kid out of like the remake version, and there was some nice things. I do remember us kind of like messing around with it though. But anyway, so real quick, and I wish I had a hardcore Digimon fan here with me. But to correct me on this, if I recall, Digimon Cyber Sleuth and whatever the Cyber Story, whatever the fuck it's called, I think they were actually, I don't know if they were ports or sequels or whatever, but they're actually related to a couple of the Japanese games that came out, and I'm looking at one here because I recognize like this girl. Like Redigitize and stuff like that, or something like that. And in Japan, they were actually still under the Digimon World title. And the Cyber Story games are actually like, I can't remember if they're ports or remakes. Like I said, I wish I had somebody here. I haven't completely done my research. Redigitize is actually just called Digimon World Redigitize in Japan. It's a PSP game that only came out there, and I just lost my list because I'm a dumbass. But I'll look. Maybe it'll say something about Cyber Sleuth. But we can continue. Digimon World DS. I've actually never played that one.
I just saw that one. I don't have that one.
I want it. I've never played it. It looks good. Here are the 2 best Digimon games ever released so far, in my opinion.
I'm gonna say you probably are gonna say Dusk and Dawn.
Dusk and Dawn. Although, again, this is not including ones that came out in Japan. And I will say, I have a lot of nostalgia for Digimon World 3. Honestly, I have a lot of nostalgia for Digimon World 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm not saying that those aren't good, although, I mean, going back and playing 3 now is like, okay, it's got some issues. Like, I think Dusk and Dawn are better than that game, but there are a lot of things I still like about 3. Whatever, I'm not trying to shit on them. I love these games too, but I do understand that I think Dusk and Dawn are probably better than those. And then, okay, so these are 2 that came out in Japan that I always wanted to. Super, I'm not sure how to say it, but it's XROS Wars Red and Blue. Those came out in Japan, but we skipped that because it didn't come out in America. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth.
No, those are the ones that I don't have.
And then Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Okay.
I pretty much only have the Digimon World games.
Okay.
I am also looking for Rumble Arena.
That's right. Digimon World Championship, which was on the DS as well.
DS is probably one of the game systems I have the least games for. If anything, I've only got like Ace Attorney and Castlevania. Like those are the biggest ones that I got. Kingdom Hearts, Mario Party DS.
Okay. Another Digimon World game that actually very few people have played. I have played it. I don't own it. I wish I did. That did come out in North America, but it came out in 2007, so it was very late in the PS2's lifespan, was Digimon World Data Squad.
Data Squad.
Yep. It was a very interesting Digimon World game that I can't give a fair judgment because I haven't played enough of it, but I remember enjoying it at the time. The only reason I haven't bought it is because I've only seen it once in stores. I don't think it's rare. I'd have to look to confirm.
What is it? It looks weird. What is that case art?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is off-putting compared to the other ones. Let me see how much that goes for, because I would like to have that. Digimon World Data Squad, PS2. Okay, so here's one with no manual, $25. Okay, yeah. I'd like to get that one sometime because it's not super expensive. Here's a $40 one with the stickers included. Wow. I didn't know it came with stickers. Okay, so now we have the fighting games because Digimon was not always a JRPG, as we know. We've got Digimon Battle Spirit on the Game Boy Advance. Decent game. I do not own it, but I have played it. Digimon Rumble Arena. There you go. Digimon Battle Spirit 2. Digimon Rumble Arena 2, which is much improved. Digimon All-Star Rumble is fucking awful. That's a 360 PS3 game. It sucked. And I just realized that it was developed by Prope, which was Yuji Naka's studio. And still is Yuji Naka's studio. He's the only employee a part of it. Wow. I did not actually know they developed that game, but it sucks. Digimon All-Star Rumble, fuck, it sucks. And then there's some card battle games. Digimon Digital Card Battle came out in America. I never played that one. It's a PS1 game, but I've seen it. Digimon Battle Online. I don't know that one. Oh, is it an MMO? It is. Wow. Digimon Racing, I never played either, which is a Game Boy Advance game, and yes, it exists. I can't even believe it, but it does
exist. So much of this
like
weird shit is on the fucking Game Boy.
Yeah. Digimon Masters is another fucking online. And interestingly enough, it only came out in Korea and not North America, just the United States. That is so weird.
That's really fucking weird.
Couple others. Digimon Monster, the Wonder Swan. Oh wow. And then some mobile shit. Whatever. Digimon Re-Arise, I think, got shut down finally. Just this year, actually. But there you go. There's the whole list of Digimon games. Still missing a lot of those personally. I would like to get a lot of them. But they're not actually. I'm sure the Game Boy Advance ones are. But just because Game Boy Advance. Let's see, Digimon GBA CIB. Let's see how much some of these complete in box Game Boy Digimon games go for. Well, I'm actually not even really finding any. Here's Battle Spirit Loose 25. Because honestly, like the biggest thing is like Digimon just was never. It had a following and it had its like 1 or 2 years of huge popularity, but it just was never that big in America. So unless you want the PS1 games, a lot of them are actually not that expensive. Just people don't really want them as much. Like here's Digimon World Championship, on the DS, complete in box, $50. It's not too bad. Here's a Circle of the Moon complete in box for $90. That's not bad at all, actually. Don't know why it popped up now, but I guess. I'm not seeing a lot of the Digimon ones. Actually, the card battle game is quite expensive there.
Is Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition only come out on the Nintendo Switch?
I think so. Yep, and it comes with both of them. And yes, I do believe it was only the Nintendo Switch. Because it came out later, so I don't know. That has something to do with it. But yes, I do remember that. I do recommend I could do a whole video on the Digimon games, because I know them decently. But I will say that the Cyber Sleuth games are good. The only reason I cannot give them in my opinion, the upgrade to the level of Dusk and Dawn for me personally, I feel like a lot of the story is very skippable. It's not super interesting. Not that Dusk and Dawn have the most amazing story, but I definitely found myself sitting through the dialogue a lot more. And then also, like, it's less free-roamy to me. Like, you can grind in Cyber Sleuth, and you can grind to Digivolve and De-Digivolve Digimon, which is the most exciting part of Dusk and Dawn. It plays very similarly in those aspects, but I feel like you can't... It still feels a little bit more limited, a little bit more linear. I mean, once you start to, like, get, like, a good 7 or 8 chapters in, then it starts to get a lot better because now you have multiple places you can go fight different types of Digimon and, like, grind and stuff like that. But overall, I just feel like Dusk and Dawn was and again, like, I wouldn't take that as, like, a complete, like, oh, he's just, like, completely thinks that right now. It's like, it has been a while since I played all of those, so maybe my thoughts have changed. But Digimon games is not something that I'm more recent with. Other than Cyber Sleuth, which I played, like, last year, I haven't played the Digimon games a whole lot in the last couple years, but it sounds like fun now. I do love me Dusk and Dawn, though.